Hi, this is Cheyenne Valentine, back today again with a new episode. In today's episode, I want to ask the question, are black women too independent? I'm going to say no, black women are not too independent. And I'm going to tell you why. Is because how can you be too independent when you're being forced to be independent? Repeat this question again. How are you being too independent when you are being forced to be independent? You may say, what do I mean by that? Well, look, I can't speak for every black man and I cannot speak for every black woman, but I know I can only go based upon my experiences and the women that I have access to, okay, that I'm around regularly, you know. So, and these women are poor. Currently, I stay in kind of a poor area, so these women are poor. So I don't know the experience of rich black women who are living these high-end lifestyles. So what I want to say is that I feel black women, I know most black women have been forced to be independent. I want you to tell me how many stay-at-home moms, black stay-at-home moms do you know? How many? It's some out here. Oh, don't get it twisted. But how many black stay-at-home moms do you know that the man says, I can take care of all the bills. I can take care of you. I have enough money for food, clothes. I have enough money for the kids, for the rent and everything. You do not have to work. Stay at home, raise my kids while I go out and provide. How many black women do you know have that situation? And how many black men do you know want that fucking situation? I've heard black men say they don't want to provide for black women. That black women aren't shit and they don't want to provide. And even the ones who haven't said that, they have stated, I want a woman who works just like me. Now, people might say, well, a lot of these women, you know, have kids out of wedlock, so they were forced to. Okay, I don't have kids out of wedlock, and let's take my age out of it, because some men on YouTube might say I'm old now that I'm 32. So let's take it back to when I was 19 or 20. I was in a relationship, a very long one, and the guy I was with, we split the bills down the middle. We were like roommates. Everything was split down the middle. He did not. We basically, how it is with any man, how you start is how you finish. So we started in, you know, we were 21, we were young, we moved in together. We split everything down the middle. We used to stay with sister too. We split everything 3 ways. That's how the situation was. And when I was quitting jobs, trying to find myself, he didn't like that shit because he felt he wanted, you know, in a sense, to me, I think he wanted a woman to take care of him, because I think he wanted to pursue some things of his own, comedy and things like that. So I think he was kind of bitter that because he had a kid, so he was bitter that he had to work full time and couldn't just like work like as a waiter and do his comedy full time. He was bitter. Well, no one told this man to have a kid at 21, you know, so that was on him. So he was bitter that he had to like work full time, take care of this kid, and not just kind of take off and travel and live in his car and be a comedian. So when he was with a woman like me, I'm also very creative. I wanted to write. I wanted to do a lot of different things. So when you're an artist, a lot of times the money don't come flowing in the way it should. And I hate 9-to-5 jobs. So I would quit jobs. And he quit too as well. And I quit, but I quit more than, so I quit like 4. So he didn't like that. Only reason I didn't trip because I felt okay, we did start splitting everything down the middle. But I came to him with a proposition one time. I was saying, you know, I was in school full time, and I said, well, if you could pay all the bills. We both were working full time. We was working full time. Both of us was working full time, and I was going to school part time. And I ended up getting my bachelor's. Well, bachelor's it takes 4 years full time to get it. At the rate I was going, it took me 8 years to get my degree. And I wanted to start making some real money. So I told him, I said, look, why don't you pay all the bills? I'll give me a little part time job. Let me go to school full time, and I will pay, and so I can get done with school. Once I'm done with school, then I'm gonna work full time, pay all the bills, and then you can go do comedy full time. And I told him, I you know, you could do comedy full time and maybe have like a part time job as a waiter while I pay all the bills. I said, but right now I would need you to just pay like the major bills, like the rent and stuff. I will have a part time job, but I will be going to school full time so I can get done, and then we can switch. Then I work full time, pay all the bills, and you can pursue the comedy and have like you a little part time job. You know, he told me, everybody, he said, well, if I do that, I'm gonna have any woman I want in this house. And see, when he was going to be sleeping with other women in the apartment, which I wasn't going to allow that to happen. And then he said in a joking way, but the motherfucker was serious. So at that point, I went to my father and I told him, Dad, can you help me pay the rent, pay my half of the rent while I go to school full time, and so I can get done? And my dad was wire me my half of the rent money every month while I was in school. A good man. Okay, and I could not depend on my own boyfriend. I had to go to my fucking father. So what am I trying to say here? Some men got it in them and some men don't. Some men are equipped and some men want to be providers and some men don't. And a lot of black men, especially 30 years and younger, don't want to provide. Now, however, 30 years and younger, you probably don't have no money like that. I understand that. Okay, so live separately. You know, don't be moving in with a woman and expect her to pay all the fucking bills and shit if you want her to depend upon you. And also, women, you can't be shacking up with these dudes. Okay, because if you shack up, they gonna look at you almost like a roommate with all the benefits. So they're gonna have you split the rent, cook for them, fuck them, suck them, do all this shit, and don't have a baby with them out of wedlock. Don't even fucking do it. I advise women to live separately. If you're dating a guy, if he wants to get married, you need to let him know, I do not want to work, I want to be a stay-at-home mom, and I plan on start having kids pretty soon into the marriage. Are you okay with that? Maybe 2 or 3 years into the marriage. Okay. And if you wait 2 or 3 years to have kids, you might say, well, is he gonna just work and how you be a stay-at-home mom? You're not a mom yet. No, you can have maybe a part-time job if you want, but he needs to pay all the fucking bills if he wants you to be a dependent woman. Independent women fucking work, fellas, full time. They work fucking full time. So these men are saying with black women too independent. They're being forced. Now the ones who have kids, now mind you, then I didn't have a kid and I still couldn't get no motherfucking help, and I was young. I couldn't get help from my own fucking boyfriend. Okay, now let's move on to women who have kids. Fine, they had a kid out of wedlock. Fine, they did. They don't have a choice but to go out of work. Who gonna take care of them? They have to take care of their kids. Now, you would think the man who they fucking had a kid with would be a real man and go out and provide for his child. He ain't with the woman no more, perfectly fine. But no, these men leave these women with these kids and they love to raise them by themselves. They're out there, they're forced to take care of themselves and their children. Now, fine, of course, if you're a single woman, you gotta work and take care of yourself. I'm saying once you have a kid with a man, he should be taking care of that fucking kid. He's supposed to be the provider for the kid, and like if you, and of course you have you a job for yourself or whatever. But these men don't even take care of their fucking kids, some of them. So I don't want to hear that bullshit. Black women are forced to be independent. If a black woman doesn't work and take care of herself, who gonna take care of her? Who the fuck? Most men, black men I know, are not eager or want to fucking provide, nor do they make enough money to provide. Now, this one dude called Ringo Raw TV, he said most black men make more money than black women and X, Y, and Z. If that, let's pretend like that's the case. Okay, fine. Let's pretend. Okay, still, why do they not want to provide? If they make more fucking money, why do they not want to provide? Take me out of it. Take me out of it right now based upon my age, since I'm considered old at 32, even though 32 is not old. Take me back when I was 20 and 19. I ran to several men around that age. They did not want to provide. I had men try to swindle me out of money. One of my boyfriends tried to get money out of me, and I had to check him, put in his motherfucking place. You ladies, you can't buy or do shit. You can't, because they think that you're soft and that you're an ATM. And they try to use you. So you can't buy, do shit. You can't do shit for them financially because they're gonna use you. A man's supposed to be a fucking provider. So this is my thing. So back when I was 20 and 19 and shit, 21, because you know men on YouTube want women like that are virgins and that are like 13 years old. So when I was like 19 and 20, the years they said that's prime for the picking, these men did not want to provide for me, and I'm nice looking. Okay, now maybe my flaw was I didn't go for older men. I went for men my age that were attractive. That probably was a fatal flaw. That probably was a big fucking flaw. I didn't know any better. I thought, you just date people that you're attracted to, that's around your fucking age, and you build something with. I tried to build something with my ex-boyfriend. He did not want to build with me. He did not want to work with me. Okay, so had I dated older men at 19 and 21, I possibly could have got a man to pay my bills. But look, I'm 32 now. I know 32-year-old men that's still not on their square, that still work a 9-to-5 basic job. They don't have their own business. They're not rich, and that still do not want to provide. Even if I was 19 dating a 32-year-old, I'm 32. I'm around 32-year-old men. I know their financial level and everything. Some of them are still trying to find themselves financially, still trying to get their foot on the ground, and they still don't want to provide. Okay? So to say black women are too independent, no, they're not. They have no choice but to be independent. How many black men are stepping up saying, I want to provide, I want to pay all the bills, you stay home and raise my kids? I don't know many. They want the woman to go out and work while they stay home and play fucking video games and smoke weed all fucking day. My brother used to do that to his ex-girlfriend. She would work, he'd stay at home, play video games, smoke weed, and she'd come to the house dressed all nice in her little suit and shit, and he'd been laying around the house all fucking day. Yeah, that's her fault for putting up with that, but there's a significant amount of black men who don't want to provide, who work a 9-to-5 job, have money, and when I mean money, not a lot of money, just work, and they don't want to provide for the woman. They want you and him, they want y'all both to be fucking working. I know women who have kids who husband do not want them to be stay-at-home moms, who can't even afford, and these men can't even afford for women to be stay-at-home moms. And there's some men who don't even try to bring in extra income. There's some black men who don't even fucking try. So I don't want to hear that bullshit. Come to me with something different. Come to me with the fucking facts. Okay? If black men make more women than black women, then why aren't they in a rush to provide for black women? Why are they not in a rush for black women to be stay-at-home moms? A lot of black men do not want to fucking provide. So you have forced black women to be independent.